Are we live? We are live. I'm just waiting for a second, see if we're going live. D live? I don't think so. Doesn't work. Awesome. Oh, it's live. Great. Right, let me see. Hey, Beverly, good to see you. Let me just put these settings. Okay, there we are. Give me 1 second to see if everybody's coming in. I have an excellent connection. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Hey, Greg. Good to see you there. Dennis, Amanda. Good to see you too. And Jenny, I'm very happy to see you. This is very exciting being back with everybody. Let me see who's coming in. Hey, Deadskull. Good to see you too. And Lucy in the sky. Good to see you too. So I want to thank Big Hair Tsunami for his donation. Um, and yeah, hi Nancy. And I see, yes, this is my Bali background, manifesting and all. And hey, John, good to see you too. Mountain Dreams, happy you're here. Honest Content on D Live as well. And I don't know what that says. It's Turkish from Berto. Good to see you all. I hope you're all doing fine. So today, as you know, I haven't been back much. I did a roundtable a week ago or so. And hey, Frank B, good to see you too. And happy to be back. And so today I was going to talk about Semi. Hi, good to see you from Texas. I was going to talk about my journey, my grieving journey, and I figured this might help a lot of people because really grief can be, um, in many forms. If you are heartbroken because a relationship ended or because somebody died, in my case, two being side. Do tell. Hey, Cat Spotter, good to see you. Alexia, happy you're here. And so, yeah, today I was going to cover my journey in the past month. It's actually, what date is it? It's the 8th, right? And it's been now since the 1st of June that I lost my second cat, and the week before that, the first. And I was going to talk to you guys about what I've learned. And it's been really heavy. It's been really hard. And yeah, I figured by sharing this, I may actually, help some people. I hope so. I hope it helps. So I went obviously through the 5 stages of grief, which are denial. Anger wasn't there in this case, bargaining, the depression, and eventually acceptance. And wow, it's been an amazing, amazing journey. It's obviously, still a bit fresh and raw, and it was hard. It was really, really hard. And hey, Mark, good to see you and Disco. And so, or Disco G, is that it? And so, yeah, what happened? So in the first week, I had a severe case of denial, which I didn't even know. I didn't realize. Um, I felt fine, and I figured, oh, I can get through this. It's much easier. Also, hey Sarah, good to see you. And I figured, this time it's different because we're on this spiritual journey, all of us. Things have changed drastically, to say the least, because with all these energies coming in and all the changes, somehow it felt different than any other loss. I guess everybody has been through a loss, more or less, or a heartbreak or whatever. And I figured, you know, um, why did they die, right? Why did they die, the two cats? Why did, yeah, I lived with them for 15 years, and only them, as most of you know. And I didn't hey Ricky, welcome, first time here. And yeah, I was really I was really in that first week of denial. I rationalized everything. I was like, you know, um, they left me because I needed to move on with my life, get started on my mission, and it was kind of, I was just rationalizing it, and of course I cried, but it was not as bad as I thought. And that was until a week later I woke up, and all of a sudden I realized that I was not aware they were gone. And so I went live, and that evening, I think that was the day that I did the round table. And yeah, I thought, I can go live, and that was fine. And then the next day, uh, I didn't even know it still had to start, and that's exactly what happened. So I went in this major bargaining phase, where I woke up with intense pain, and I've never knew that you could actually feel a broken heart, and I felt it intensely. It was so painful. It was so um it I mean, I had a teddy bear that has a warm water bottle in it, and I slept with it just to feel that they were still with me. And I cried so much. I crawled over the floor. I just hugged the walls, and I cried more. And then I started begging for them to come back. um I was so desperate, so desperate. um if I think about it now, it's like, um I literally begged them to come back. And I would talk to them, and then magically hope that they would appear. And I woke up with them. I went to bed with them. Um it it was it was hard. It hurt so much. It was so painful, because you know all of a sudden I realized that my whole life for the past 15 years have been involving around them only. And I miss them. And I haven't been through around people, right, because of agoraphobia that I suffered for 27 years. And so I only had them around me. They were my life. They were my everything. And so, yeah, I kept, yeah, crying. It was unbearable. The feeling was unbearable. And I said 1,000 times, I miss you. I miss you. There were some days that were better than others. And hey, Michael Scott, yeah, it's the most terrible pain. And we all have to go through that when that happens. And it was just, for me, there was another level to it, because my whole life was changing, and I didn't see that coming yet, because all I was thinking about was my cats. Like, I want them back, I miss them, and I felt so lonely. At the same time, I tried to just to grab onto anything that I could. And that lasted, I guess, 2 weeks, maybe. Yeah. It was terrible. I started isolating again. And at the same time, I just didn't know what to do. And then my mom, she called, and she said, "You want to come over for some days?" And so I did. I went to her, and I figured, you know what, maybe I can find some distraction. And so I'm a very handy girl, and I figured, let's get my mind off this, and then I will pass it. pass it. And so I renovated her whole bathroom, put a new floor in. I also renovated her balcony. I've been busy for, let me see, I was there for 5 days straight. I worked non-stop. I think I slept 4 hours a night, because as soon as I was done, the pain everywhere, because I have been so passive in the past months, and I had so much pain in my body, but I'd rather felt that pain than any other pain at that point. And so I kept going, and then I was so exhausted. It was a Friday, and I came back, and I decided that for the first time I would drive home myself, with my mom next to me. um, I just didn't realize that I had so much, you know, I've been so busy there that I was exhausted, and you suppress your feelings, I guess. And so I got a major panic attack on the highway when there was a traffic coming, and I went off the highway, and my mom said, no, no, you need to go one more further. And I'm like, nope, I need to go home. And I started crying, and I had to go home, and she understood. And so when I arrived home, she left, and I was like numb, all of a sudden numb. I had pain, and I was so confused. And that day I went in a major, major depression. And all of a sudden I started to overthink my life, how th- their loss would change my whole life, in such a profound way, in a way that I needed to make new choices. I realized that all of a sudden, I was now, because they anchored me at home, they anchored me in that agoraphobia, and all of a sudden I now realized, oh my God, I don't have that anchor anymore. So now what? And it's interesting that the week before the first past, I had this reading with Peter Slattery, and I was told that I was going to go through some hurdles. Well, little did I know those hurdles were pretty tough, and but they were also meant to have a change of life, and that's exactly where I was headed. And but now thinking about what was going on, how my life had to change. I was also attacked, by the way, rather right after I came back came back online a bit from grieving, and I couldn't understand, and immediately I figured, you see, human, it actually made me confirm what I was afraid of all along, which is, you see, people are no good. I can be around people, and I felt so depressed that night. And I was laying on the couch, and I begged them to come back. And at the same time, this time I knew they wouldn't come back, and I started a bit panicking, and I literally screamed in the middle of the night in my house, and I said, please come back, because I can't do this. And and I was so scared, and at that moment I looked at this wall where I have their pictures, and there is this light over it that shines on the pictures, and I saw the light flickering, and I was like, well, what? Well, oh, that light is about to break too. You know how that goes. And then I looked at the picture next to it, and it was like, but that's not flickering. That's weird. And I looked well again, and I looked at the picture, and then all of a sudden I realized only the two pictures of my cats were actually trembling, like trembling. And I looked at that, and I was like, oh my God, you are here. You're here. And at the moment I realized they were with me. And the day that Pebbles was going to go to the vet, we lay down, and it was an hour before we had to leave. I lay down, and we looked at each other like we were like literally this close to each other, and she puts her paw on my face, and I said to her, do you really need to go? And at that moment I heard in in my head, yes, yeah, I literally heard, yes, mommy, because we need to move on. You need to move on. You need to pick up your life. And and so um and I looked at her and I said, but you know, I cannot, I cannot be without you. And I heard in my head, you can because you need to, and this is your moment to shine. And so that afternoon I took her to the vet, or actually an hour later my neighbor went with me. I also discovered that I am a full-blown autist. That same week, I didn't even know. And you know, when you think about autism, it's about people that you know, little boys and all that. And so I told my neighbor, and she said, "Well, do you feel anxiety now?" As we were there waiting for my cat to be, you know, for it to be her turn. And I said, I don't know really. And she went to the toilet, and that's when I started feeling. I thought, let me just feel with myself in my body what I'm actually feeling. We were sitting outside. There was a terrace, and there were all cars passing by. And at that moment, I realized, oh my God, I get every impulse that I feel is coming onto me. And at that moment, anxiety I felt building. And all of a sudden, it hit me why I had these panic attacks all the time, because the influx of input from everything around me was building that up, but I couldn't feel it because I was too much in my head. And so that right then and there, I realized it's not a phobia, it's not a panic disorder. The panic attack just comes because I tolerate, uh, uh, my body is taking in all those impulses. And all of a sudden I figured, oh, this is why over the past 27 years I started retreating automatically. I just didn't know it was because I needed to feel more calm. And you know, and that developed obviously in a whole new lifestyle, to which I was very happy. But now I found myself and that little thing right there was another epiphany that I had, and that came with the realization that, you know, so I can get better. I can, because now that I know what is happening exactly when I go outside, I can, you know, manage to um, have a grip on that if I find a way for it, which I did. And so, yeah, I mean, that shortcut that I tried to my mom didn't work, obviously, and the depression came, and then I saw them, that those pictures trembling, um and I was flabbergasted. So then you know, I had this fear of failure as well. I did not want to take the next step, and I wanted to run back, but right then and there I knew, I need to do something. I need to start, you know, accepting, or at least, because this was the depression, right? So now I needed to, you know, start accepting. And I felt so vulnerable. So in these past weeks, I also talked to friends, and every single one of them um, gave me pieces of a puzzle. And yeah, I had to overthink everything. Everything needed to change, and I needed to learn everything again as well, new ways that I didn't even realize I needed until they left. And that was another thing that I never thought about until they were gone. And so at the same time, I felt I was failing my audience here, because I wanted to go live, but I wasn't ready. And I thought altogether I'm going to give up, because you know, this is not my thing. I cannot do this. I cannot be around all these people, and except that I felt I put all this pressure on myself. And so yeah, when talking to these friends, I found all these little pieces of the puzzle. And um, I talked to my friend Julia, and she all of a sudden gave me this little peace that I felt, because, you know, uh, many people in this movement, the awakening, the spiritual awakening, especially star seeds, we always felt like strangers in this world. And she made me realize that all this time I felt literally like I was living already on a higher level, and I couldn't stand the fakery around me from people that just say hi, how are you, and not wanting to know how you are, and all these fakeries. And I just couldn't handle it. And I figured, how am I going to do that now? But then at the same time I thought, well, we're in a new time now. I can now actually find people that you know that go through the same thing, maybe less extreme or in a different way, but still. And I thought, maybe this is exactly the moment this had to happen, because now is the time to come out. And during that reading as well with Peter, I had this feeling of um, well, he said to me, you're going to find your tribe. And I was already doing that. And so the next day, I decided to call my friend, Angela. Angela. Angela is amazing. She's Dutch, and you will hear a lot more from her in the future. She is trained for years, for over 15 years in energy healings and all that. And she's helping me with my new website I'm setting up, because um, it's more, it has more features, and so it will cost me less. And so um, she said, let's do a healing, right? And we did the healing. And during the uh, that she walked me through it. And during that healing, I needed to pick a color from the earth and let it soak into my body. And at the time with Peter, he said that there were these beings, and they said, pink, you need to use pink and magenta. And I was like, I never use these colors, I'm not a pink girl. But anyway, I don't even know what it means. And right then and there, when she asked me to grab a color and just let it go through my body, I chose pink. And at that moment, she said, like, let it go through your body. I got at my solar plexus and I started crying, like this release game. And it went further and further. And at the end of it, I opened my eyes and we looked at each other, and she goes like, holy crap, your eyes are, they were so big, but so um different. And my face changed, and I looked like 10 years younger at that moment. She said, you look like a little girl, literally. And so I felt, for the first time in my life, I felt whole. And not only that, at that same moment, I connected in my heart, boom, to my cats, both their hearts. And at that moment, and it still gives me it gives me goosebumps, because at that moment I felt they were instantly there with me, in my soul, in my body, in my heart. And it felt almost like it would be the same as they would be alive, but they were not. And but I felt this calm and acceptance. And um and I was so grateful for that. And then we hung up the phone, and I went to the grocery store, and for the first time I felt grounded, I felt safe, and I had no fear whatsoever, and I felt the whole world is mine. And that was so mind-blowing, because 27 years with anxiety when going out and all that, I felt, I was like stunned. I came back, immediately sent her a message, and I said, oh my God, I said this and this happened. And she goes like, whoa. And it gave her tears to her eyes. And it was amazing. So then later that evening, um, I thought, what can I do? And there were some people that added me to their groups on Telegram, all women. And I've noticed that everybody went more or less through the same struggles, not so much loss, although there's an um, interesting loss of animals and pets. all over the world, really, but also amongst my friends and all these women that are so in search of, their not so much their identity. I think we passed that, but rather their wholeness. And so there were these different women that I talked to in different groups, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to unite them in one group. And that's what I did. And I said this group is going to be for those that are more spiritual evolved, and we are going to help each other. We need to unite. We need to start uniting together. It's not per se, I don't want men in there, but now was the time for me to also get connected more to my own womanhood, because that's another thing that came in. I felt softer. I felt the feminine side that I never felt before. And so I figured, let's do that. And I put that group together, and everybody went like, whoa, this is amazing, because this is exactly what we need. And and this all grew out of what I was doing. And you know and for men out there, please do the same. Try, if you are highly spiritually evolved, connect groups together, talk with each other. And I spent I know, I spent 15 hours in a group with these women. People came in and out, they slept in the meantime, because different time zones, international. And we started talking. And it was also, for me, meant that people could be vulnerable, people could share their struggles and not feel alone anymore, because everybody was feeling this loneliness. And I figured, in that way we kill two birds with one stone, which is a horrible saying, but that's kind of what happened. And so we were in this group, and so I was discussing how I didn't know how to go on with my channel, how to find more coherence in what I do. I know I want to be always authentic. I never have a script ever. And but at the same time, I feel a bit chaotic because I can go off the rail here and there. And so I asked, in that group, we were in a voice, and I think we were with about, I think, 6 or 7 women. And so they were a bit harsh on me, but it was so necessary. So they went, well, but that's ego. And I said, yeah, but I don't know what, you know, I, I don't know, maybe people are not people are not waiting to hear me all the time. Well, I mean, everybody can make a channel and put out their opinions, but so I feel, then why me, right? And yes, I have all this following. By the way, I put out, and I put also off the like button, because I figured it's time that we stop doing the whole subscriber thing and the likes, because those are about ego. They're not about what this channel is about, or any channel for that matter. And so, hey, Neo, good to see you. And Mark, and I saw somebody else, Michael Scott, good to see you too. And so, then they said to me, but what do you want? And I broke down, and it was terrifying, because I was terrified. I was so scared to be vulnerable, and I was so used to doing everything by myself. So even though I made this group, I myself never implemented the sharing of my own vulnerabilities. And so little did I know, I was the first one in there to actually break completely down. And I started crying, because at that moment, I didn't know what I wanted, and I wanted to help. And but at the same time, is this the way that I should help? And and at the same time, the moment that that question was asked, I realized, that's it. I'm scared. I'm scared to love. I'm scared to accept people in my life after all these years. I'm scared to be heard again. I'm scared to make mistakes. I'm scared to fail. And I felt, how did I put that? I felt like it's an all or nothing. That's how I felt, because it's not like you can go back and you say, oh, yeah, you can get new cats, but it's different, right? So, but I was like, I just feel like it's all or nothing, and so that made me insecure, and it made me go in a panic, and it made me feel so vulnerable. And oh my gosh, these women, they started to tell me what I should do, and how it was all okay. And for the first time in my life, I was going through it with people around me, and I just trusted. I just decided to trust that process. And thank you, Mountain Dream. You were one of those amazing women that triggered this for me. And you were also the one that actually made me think about starting this group. And I mean, and at that moment, that love they poured out to me, and I couldn't believe it. And at the same time, I was scared shitless, because all people are just, they're being polite and they're being kind, but can I really trust them? Um and right then and there, and I decided to let go and to accept. And and that right there, that was um my last stage of grief. It was acceptance. I accepted this new life. I accepted the new change. I accepted that they won't come back. I have them in my heart now. As soon as I think of them, they're straight in my heart. They are here with me. I can feel them now. And and oh my god, they are they are proud, and they have so much love, and they let me know. And um and and these women too, and all these people, and all of you here supporting me, watching me, you know being vulnerable, and it's fine now. And that means that my life made a turn that I've never had in my life. And I'm just going to go with the process. I'm just going to trust the process no matter what happens. I mean, after all these years and all the struggles I've been through and all the healings I've done, and we never finished healing, because clearly there was so much load to this loss. Um, and I did that, and I'm proud of myself, that I got I got out on the other side. Um, and I'm still whole. Actually, I came out on the other side whole for the first time in my life. And in 3 weeks, it's my birthday. I'm gonna be 52, and I know that the 52 and 42 and 32 are very major turnarounds in people's lives. And well, I'm a bit ahead of the curve now, so I guess I'm learning. And so I wanted to just say that, how can we deal with loneliness? Because you don't have to lose somebody, have a broken heart or anything, go to the 5 stages of grief in order to feel lonely, because many do. And the first thing is find like-minded people, and just put that head on the chopping block, which my ex taught me. And he's going to be pissed off that I finally got that lesson, but he's not here anymore in my life. But I did learn it, and I hope one day he will maybe see this video, and I want to tell him thank you that he taught me this, because it's not like I ever forgot. I did learn. Putting your head on the chopping block is the most powerful thing you can do. Instead of being weak, you actually start feeling young. And sorry, I just you start feeling powerful and vulnerable at the same time. Hey, wise mama bear, good to see you. And so, yeah, find like-minded people and support and friendship and talk to them. If you don't want to do it in a group, do it individually. I always say in this group as well, if you don't dare to speak up in a whole group, just find that person that you connect with most and talk to them, and they will, all of the friends I made in since I started my YouTube channel, because remember, I didn't have anybody as for human beings, um, and they all gave me these pieces of the puzzle, and they all gave me, and I listened to it as well. And sometimes it take a long time, but we're now in a time where we pick up these things. It's all a matter of wanting to learn, and wanting to change, and we need to put our ego aside, a very important one, which is hard, because the moment they said to me, yeah, because you're an ego, and what do you want, and it was the best thing they could have done, because I needed that at that moment, because it triggered actually the answer. So trust and be vulnerable, trust to be vulnerable. um, there's always this fear of failure, but well, if anybody can be a witness of that you can actually get through it, it's probably me. And my life is starting now. Yes, Jenny. Leo pride. That's a hard one. The Leo pride. I'm a Leo, and you want to hold on, and you become, this is the masculine part of me that came out always. That was also very dominant, because I would either get angry, defensive, or just hard to myself. And it's a form of punishment, right? So we change our old ways by um, getting out of our comfort zone. And yes, my cats pushed me out of my comfort zone, and the way that Peter predicted in in this reading, every single part of it came true, including the attacking, by the way, because he told me that I would be attacked. But it all put these pieces of the puzzle together. You're a Gemini, Mark. I'm a Gemini rising in Venus, so, and a Scorpio moon, which makes it pretty hard when it comes to emotions. But here I am. It's Thursday. I felt guilty not going live on Monday, but all this happens on Tuesday. And yes, I was 15 hours, and actually I was 30 hours I was up. And I spent 15 hours of these 30 hours in a voice chat with all these women that can't come and go and sleep and have their stuff to do. And I had nothing to do, and I just stuck around. And the stuff that I've learned from all these women is just mind blowing. Um, and I cannot thank you all enough for um, pulling me through this time. Even though there was a moment I gave up on people altogether, but I figured, I felt like I was balancing on this chord, and it was all about, am I going to drop left or am I going to drop right? And the one side would be, um, that would have been uh, like the wrong choice, and the other side would have been where I am now. And so I got through it. And now what's next? What's next is getting my channel back organized. Next week on Monday, I have Josh from the Detox Dude I've been always raving about in my videos when I talk to detox, though about detox. But Alexia is another one that is our bugger, I call her, but she's the expert in bugs, in parasites, and detox, and I definitely will have her on too. It's just that I discovered Josh from Detox Dude when I started my own detox, and it turns out that he too suffered from massive panic attacks, and he got rid of most of that anxiety, that constant 24/7 anxiety through detox. So I'm going to have him on. I'm going to have also on Thursday next week, I'm going to have uh, Mariam Henain on, which will be fun as well. And then I will go in the future on these more of these topics. And a special one is about women and autism. That is a very special one. There are thousands and thousands of women that are undiagnosed. So I'm going to do something with that. There is also that many people will be going to ESETI and Sedona, so it will be pretty quiet on the streaming side of things in our spiritual and movement. So I probably will go live during that time. Actually, I'm going to take advantage of the fact nobody can go live. No, that's actually not true. I'm not taking advantage of it, but you know, since nobody's going to be there, I might as well go live. I wish I could go to ESETI, and also remember that I was for a year trying to manifest ESETI, and I now know it was not my time yet. And as soon as the cats actually passed, I realized I needed to wait. I needed to, it was not my time yet to go to the US, besides the fact that I cannot fly unless I be poked in my nose. And, actually, I cannot even go into the US. We cannot even fly into the US. So that's another thing. And so next year, I will be there, and but then I will be spending hopefully a whole month in America. So for those that are not on ESETI, I hope to meet you somewhere else. What else? Well, have we coming? Well, I do foresee a whole new change on my channel. I still want to put that OBS in, but I'm really struggling with it. Um, and you want your intro and you want your outro and all that, but I think I'm gonna just go intro, outro, and I'm trying to get this sorted. So but I'm not going to make it all too complicated, because the message is the most important thing that matters. And yeah, um well, I hope you all still welcome me on YouTube and my new changed self. And I'm going to be a bit more confident around people. At least that's my new goal, right? So I'm in the learning process of that. And also this year, I will be focusing on, fully getting out and doing the things I need to do in order to get myself repaired and get rid of the agoraphobia altogether. And now I've got all the tools for it. And so that's the next stage of my healing process. And I'm happy for you to be a witness of that, because it encourages me more as well to do it. And I do believe that many people that are struggling, you know can maybe take something out of this. And I'm really, I do believe I have something to say. And I know that Jenny and Mountain are laughing now, because they know exactly how I think about saying that. But yeah, it's I need to stand in my power. I need to do what I need to do. That's what I came here on earth for. It's been 52 years of hard struggles, and this is the beginning of my mission. This is where I'm going to offer my help. And also my website is going to be changed, but it's still the same address, but it's going to be it's going to have more features. It will also have a lot of other people featured that offer their skills. um, and so yeah, that's really what I had to say today. And I definitely hope um, that at least I can help a few people with this. And you know and as you can see, next year this time around, I will be living in Bali. That's what I'm gonna manifest. and that's the idea behind it. So let me check. How long have I been yapping? Only only 45 minutes. And that's probably because finally I got some bullet points down. And yeah, I wrote I wrote my bullet points down so I wouldn't go all over the place. And I pretty much memorized it all. I didn't even need them. So there you go. You have a friend in Bali? Yeah, well, I have a lot of friends in Bali actually. I'm half Indonesian, so and but I mean, you can never have enough friends, I guess. So that would be awesome. Let me see. Um yeah, Noctu Rising. Yay for bullet points. I know, I learned, right? Slowly but surely. And hey, NX17, I came to your mind just today. Oh, thank you. That's nice. Well, maybe it was meant to be then. And so Christina Love, good to see you. You saw 777 and 444 555 today. This happens to me all the time. Here's another thing, by the way. During this month, when I was talking to several people, um, everybody seemed to be in sync at the same time. We would all bump into the same struggles. Or similar struggles, and which is great because in that way you can help each other. And so if you are men and you are awake on the spiritual path, please make a group for yourselves in Telegram, because amongst yourselves you can talk and be open and dare to be vulnerable, because we need the men as well in the future, obviously. And we need everybody, as many people as we can, to wake up to this stage of awakening. It's not only about politics. It's not only about the changes in the world on the physical level, whatever. There is so much going on the spiritual level. And by connecting with each other, by uniting, you will find that things will accelerate. You actually accelerate your own process and you help each other in your process. So do it, and try to make that group as big as possible. It will eventually just become like this big oil stain that just start, because remember, we need to raise that vibration. And I've been in low vibrations, hence the attacks, but it doesn't matter, because you know we struggle and we have pain and we suffer in order to learn, in order to grow. And when you grow, your vibration goes up again. And so now I'm back to that point after a month of suffering and questioning and all the things that went through me is, I now feel a whole different level of awake, and so much more aware of myself, softer, more feminine, more vulnerable, more emotional. Um, I can now feel all these different emotions. Still cannot describe them because, that's a bit of a hard thing, but it doesn't matter. Important is that you start to understand them and that you can make sense out of it, make sense out of what's going on. Try to, every now and then just get the bird's eye view, get that big picture view, and in order to calm yourself again. Because when we in these details, this is another thing, by the way, that I skipped in this story about how to deal when you grieve. The moments that I thought I could not cope, the first thing I did was boom, doing the eye view, and I started to look at the big picture. What's the whole big picture of me suffering and all that? And I'm like, okay, that's where we are. Just go through it. And and that's where I also saw constantly I needed to monitor myself by not becoming these emotions, but just feel them and observe them. And that made it all a lot quicker. Otherwise, I would be now still in stage 2, which is, that bargaining. And so because I constantly, literally every day, I needed to tell myself, where am I now? I feel so desperate. I cannot even, see the trees through the woods. How do you say that? And as soon as I went to the big picture, it was like, oh yeah, okay, don't be those feelings. Observe them, feel them, because you're gonna feel them, and it hurts like hell. And but it won't take forever. And there were moments that I thought I will never get out of this. And those were the moments I would, you know, do that bird's eye view again. And I have to say, this is what helped me immensely. So if you are struggling, it really doesn't matter with what. Constantly remind yourself to do the big picture view, because it will make sense. Everything makes more sense, and you do not drown in those feelings. You do not drown in that situation, because you are able to all of a sudden, because it's not like when you are having in pain and all that you're not able to do this. We just tell ourselves we're not able to do it, right? But you are able to do it. And when you do it, you find yourself thinking, oh, wait, yeah, I feel like shit now, but I will get through it. Hey, Neo, good to see you, my girl. You are the reason I'm part of this family like I am. You were my first friend. That's so true. You were my first friend. Neo was my first friend when I started this channel. She helped me with the sound, and she has her own channel now. She's a Christian. And it doesn't matter that we have differences in spirituality, because I will love her with all my heart, no matter the differences, just like Alara and Foil have. And, I love her to pieces. I love you to pieces, Neo. And I love Christina Love, and Dennis and Mark and all the boys out there too. Remember, you're as relevant too in all this journey that I'm going through. And yeah, let me see. I have not taken that bird's eye view. Was not sure I would make it back. Well, wait till you're in real pain and suffering. You will see how well, this bird's eye view is rather that you can oversee your life, right? Not out of your body. That's not what you should do. You should just, you know, watch yourself, what you're doing, what your life looks like, where are you now, where's everybody else. And everything becomes a relative when you start doing these things all of a sudden. And oh God, I've said that so many times. Everything is relative, and I can tell you, I'm so so grateful to have come out on the other side. And hey, our cloaked unseen world, I learned using the imaginary mind more than the analytical. Me too. It helps you stay in the positive vibration, because the analytical one was created to generate time, wasting negative energy, frequency, and vibration. It's true, but not everybody is there yet. And that's why I'm telling them, right? That it helps. And thank you, Wise Mama Bear. Um, well, if you're looking for past life, Mark, go do a QHHT, which, by the way, is another thing I did during these weeks. I had a quantum healing hypnosis session, um, and with Elena Herrera, and it was mind blowing, because I will post it on my channel for you guys that want to see it, because it gave me so many answers too on this path that I'm on. And so you will get to see that as well. Elisa will put it on her channel, and I will, put the, because she has many other nice tips and tricks and things every day that she posts, but also the hypnosis that she does with others. So she's going to post mine as well. And so then if you guys want to see it, and then later on I will post it on my channel too. But yeah, keep an eye on her channel, uh, which I will have to put in the description, and I will do that afterwards so you guys can have a look. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I've got for today. And yeah, go actually, Mark, if you want to do a QHHT, I don't know where you live, but I will, let me think. There are many people because I know Elisa is really, really busy. Oh, there's Elisa. Thank you. Thank you. So, oh yeah, her YouTube channel is actually, let me see if I can make you a mod, Elena, so you can put your own channel in there. There you go. Maybe you can post your own channel, so people can find it. And let me see if I can make, I want to, yeah, soon. By the way, we're going to have round tables as well. Again, different topics, different people. The women that I connected to are great for this. So I definitely will have, if they choose to do so, I'm going to have different roundtable talks with different topics, with those that are, relevant in the topics, and that want to participate. So that's going to be interesting. So, oh yeah, the channel is Quantum Healing of the Soul, if you guys want to find it. But you can put the link in now because I just made you a mod, Elisa. So let me see. 59 and single, ready to mingle, from Comey, Michigan. Oh, well, the singlehood, I think, is hitting us all. For those lucky ones that are married and in good relationships. Hey, Captain Roy, good to see you. Yeah, dating and all that stuff. I guess we're going to do a topic on that too. That will be fun for whoever wants to join. Even men can join. I need to find, like, maybe we could do like 3 women, 3 men, and then we can have a talk about dating and stuff like that, right? And how does that feel in these times of spiritual awakening? Because, we all have um, our journey to go through. It's not on my priority list, to be honest. But it is an interesting topic, and I did have some people actually asking me, where can I find somebody to date that actually understands me and that is awake and all that. So I see this over and over again, so that's very interesting to see. um Are uncloaked. Really, me too. Our cloaked unseen world. He said, I do not see being married as being very lucky. Me neither. But we need to uh, redefine words, I guess, in the future. Dennis, my redhead family is still going strong. Yes, you lucky bastard there. Dennis is my redheaded brother, and he has a redheaded wife and redheaded children, I believe. And I always said I never date a redhead because that feels like dating your brother. So yeah, that but then he said, oh well, my wife is a redhead too. So well, I'm never dismissing it, but it's just a feeling that I always had. It's really weird. I think nobody else has that doesn't have red hair. They usually are, oh, I want to just, you know, hook up with somebody that looks more like me. um I think I know more redheads that said no redhead for me. It's really strange. I cannot even explain how that works. There are people that not like Dennis, but yeah, it's funny. I'm glad that you're still going strong, Dennis. Good for you. And so with that, I've done an hour here, and I'm very happy with that. because I'm not going to ramble on and on and on anymore for very long, because I want to keep it short and sweet. And when I do my solos, when it's an interview, it's going to be different. So there's a new rule. Let me see. Finding a jabbed person adds more challenge. Yes, that's so true. Want to stay away from the jabbed ones, right? It's going to be fun. Hey, Mr. Datsiki, good to see you. To you. Thank you so much, Mark. A good hour it was. I honestly, I'm quite proud of myself, because that was the first time I was like literally crying live. And I'm already comfortable with it, which is really weird. But I was terrified with that before. So yeah, I'm going to check in. Let me check in. Hey, Sarah, Pepita. Greeting from Mexico. How are you doing in Mexico? I can actually travel to Mexico, so that's good. Maybe I should travel to Mexico and just cross the border from there to the US. How's that? Since everybody can cross anyway, I should be able to. And let me check D Live if there's people that actually. Oh, thank you so much for your. I don't even know what it was, but I'm sorry, because I just, there's not many people. Oh, for the ice cream. Who, me? Good to see you. I don't think there's anything to empty here as a chest, but that doesn't matter. Next time, probably. Thank you anyway. And I'm going to, let me see if I can see some last. Well, actually, I think I'm going to start a new tradition by saying goodbye with be kind to each other, unite with each other, and put those vibrations up. I think that's a good closure, isn't it? Your last girl was studying to be a life coach. I'm not ready, too far behind. Good. Me too. Well, I'm a transformational coach, actually. So, and I really, really love doing it. And I'm still busy with my workshop, because obviously that has been on hold for quite some time now. And so I'm going to pick up my work again and start creating, which is necessary. Um, might as well, you get free stuff. Yeah. Well, I need to get start working, because I need to make some money here, because it's really a dire situation after. By the way, why I was with my cats, I also had a root canal, and I went twice to the dentist, which cost me a boatload of money that I even haven't paid yet. So yeah, I definitely need to start working and get money on the table, because enough is enough, but it's coming. And yeah, time for a new life. Thank you so much, everybody. I love you. And peace out and be kind. Bye all.